Walt Disney Pictures and Jerry Bruckheimer, the team behind the highly successful Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy, are back with an epic action-adventure, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, which is partially based on the iconic video game. Set in the mystical lands of Persia, cloak and dagger scheming and intrigue by the king's powerful brother leads to the fateful decision to sack the sacred city of Alamut.
I think it's complicated. It's very, Shakespearean with the drama in the palace and what goes on between brothers and the king. The one brother who is the street urchin who is basically adopted into the royal family, has no royal blood. So he's certainly the underdog in the story and somebody you really have to root for, which is what you want in a movie like this.
Jake Gyllenhaal, who was nominated for an Academy Award for his groundbreaking performance in Brokeback Mountain, plays Prince Dastan, the king's adopted son who has grown up to become the most fearless warrior in the empire.
He finds this dagger in the middle of a battle, and he doesn't know what it is, so he puts it in his belt, and so begins the journey of the Prince of Persia. He discovers that it's a dagger that turns back time, and he has to defend it. It's his destiny.
Gemma Arterton, who starred in the most recent Bond film and Clash of the Titans, plays the feisty Princess Tamina, who is the protector of the dagger.
The solution would be to kiss me and then kill me. But I have a better solution.
I kill you, and your problems are solved.
Renowned British director Mike Newell, whose credits include Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire and Donnie Brasco, fell in love with the screenplay.
You got the kind of thriller story, the mystery about the dagger and who was the bad guy and who was the good guy. You got the comedy, you had action and combat, romance. These colors lay one on top of another until you had a kind of collage.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is based on the video game created by Jordan Mechner in 1989. After seeing the first Pirates of the Caribbean, he was convinced that Jerry Bruckheimer was the ideal producer for an adaptation of his video game.
Jerry is the biggest, most successful producer in Hollywood. I couldn't have asked for anything better than to have Prince of Persia brought to the screen on such a spectacular scale by Jerry Bruckheimer.
Jerry Bruckheimer has produced one blockbuster hit after another and has an uncanny knack for talent. He has catapulted several actors into superstardom, including Johnny Depp and Nicolas Cage.
He's a gifted actor, and we're lucky to be able to convince him to do it. And he worked so hard to get in shape to do this movie and then work with us on the screenplay. He's got great ideas, so he's somebody that is a real force in our business.
Gemma walked in 3 months out of RADA. She'd done almost nothing. She longed to be this lovely, exotic, complicated girl.
We must take the dagger to the secret Guardian Temple.
You really enjoy telling me what to do, don't you?
Only because you're so good at following orders.
Don't press your luck.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time had to be shot in a country that presented an epic canvas, in addition to a deep pool of highly skilled artisans who would be vital to such a massive undertaking.
We had to find a location that was suitable and looked very much like Persia, so we found Morocco, and Morocco is also very film-friendly. But it's all based on what's written in the screenplay, so if you have big palaces, we got to create the big palaces. If you have big landscapes, we got to find the big landscapes, but it's all dictated by the writers.
For me, there's always been something about this world, ancient Persia, and the tales of 1001 Nights. It's felt very mystical and magical. And it's fascinated me, and I think this movie really brings that to the screen in a way and on a scale with attention to detail, that's never been seen before.
With Sir Ben Kingsley and Alfred Molina rounding out the stellar cast, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time is one of Jerry Bruckheimer's most opulent productions. It is a cinematic feast that promises to dazzle audiences of all ages with its epic scope, brilliant special effects, and phenomenal non-stop action.
How did you do that?